Okay, good evening, everyone. So in the absence of an elected chair, I will now call this meeting to order. The land acknowledgement statement. We acknowledge with respect the history, spirituality, and culture of the Anishinaabeg, the people of the Three Fires known as Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi Nation, who have inhabited this land from time immemorial. And further give thanks to the Chippewas of Saugeen, the Chippewas of Nawash, now known as the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, as the traditional keepers of this land. We also recognize the Métis and Inuit, whose ancestors shared this land and these waters. May we all, as treaty people, live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all its diverse peoples. So, moving to approval of the agenda, the recommendation is that the agenda be approved as presented. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Ron and Michelle. Is there any discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Carried. Declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, you can choose to declare at any point in the meeting. And there are no minutes of previous meetings. So now we will begin with a committee orientation. So welcome everyone. To start the orientation, I'd like to have an opportunity to introduce the members of the committee. And I would ask you to just briefly introduce yourself. First and last name is fine. You want to start?
Hi, my name is Michelle Ladrete.
Okay.
Ron Glenn.
Kathy?
Kathy Moore Coburn.
And we also have members Ryan Thompson, who sends his regrets this evening, as well as Elgin McMillan, who is not with us this evening. Could you put up the... All right. So we aim to be brief this evening. I realize the time. What we'd like to do today is we've done some introductions, and we want to review the roles of the members with some expectations. Just briefly talk about hearings, and we have a couple of housekeeping items to go over. So this evening on the agenda is an election of the committee chair and vice chair. And with the role of the chair at the Committee of Adjustment, basically the chair is the presiding officer of the meeting. The chair moves the meeting forward. Responsibility of that role is to be familiar with the Committee of Adjustment Procedure Bylaw, and that's specifically sections 16 and 17, which describe how to proceed with chairing the meeting. It's a responsibility of the chair, as well as all members, to attend meetings, to review applications and read the agenda items. Another one is to complete the Association of Committees of Adjustment training modules. So those modules were provided to all members, I believe on the 11th of January. And the training modules are open until January 31st. I have had a request to extend the window of the modules being available. So I will do that and follow up with an email to let you know how much extra time there is to complete those modules. Within each module, they're basically 15 minutes each, and they contain a transcript of the video presentation, as well as a short test, and conducting site visits where deemed necessary. The vice chair would step in and preside over meetings when the chair is absent. So the vice chair would be expected to understand the meeting protocol as well. Role of members include being familiar with the Committee of Adjustment Procedure Bylaw as well, attending the meetings, reviewing applications and reading the agenda items, completing training modules, and conducting the site visits as well. So the OCA training modules look at, they provide a planning overview. They examine consents and provide explanations and examples of consents, minor variances. They speak to site visits, what's recommended and required of a site visit, and meeting protocols are addressed in volume 5. And then in volume 6, there's a conflict of interest module. So the role of staff on a committee of adjustment, all staff have been invited to complete the training modules as well, just so that everybody is on the same page and has the same information. Staff are processing applications, preparing agendas, and submitting staff reports, and will be available to answer questions related to the report at the meetings. Through the process, they will read all of the comments received to date for the committee, as well as circulate notices associated with the application. The staff involved are myself, and I should have introduced myself. I'm Jen Burnett. I'm the senior planner, and I will be taking on the role of the secretary treasurer for the Committee of Adjustment in the absence of another staff member. Carly Craig is our acting clerk, and Rayburn Murray is our legislative services coordinator, and she will be assisting with the Committee of Adjustment until the Secretary Treasurer position is filled. We also have Jael Richards is providing services to write planning reports for the township. So when you are considering the applications, you will see reports both from myself as well as the planners at Jael Richards. They will be in attendance to answer any questions related to reports that the committee may have. So the role of agencies. The typical commenting agencies that we have that review applications and provide the comments include the County of Grey, the Grey Sauble Conservation Authority, Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, and the Ministry of Transportation. The agencies review the applications against their respective policies and then provide comments to the township. For some applications, an agency may request a condition of approval be included in the decision. And examples of that would include like a road widening through the severance process. Grading and drainage plans are often conditions we see come back from Conservation Authority, or development agreements for consent. Hearings are scheduled monthly, and procedurally, we're going to ask the applicant to present the application to the committee. The staff planning report is included in the agenda package for you to review prior to the meeting. And staff will not be presenting reports, but they will be there to answer questions. Committees typically make the decision on the application that evening. And what we will do is circulate a decision sheet. We will email that to you for your signature using DocuSign. We request that you sign those sheets as soon as possible, the decision sheets, because we have, there's also, as you know, an appeal period that the applicants typically are waiting to receive their building permits to get moving on their development. So we'd like to have those signed as soon as possible. Just in terms of housekeeping, part Participation can be in person or virtual, and just as staff, we would appreciate if you could let us know if you're planning on attending in person or virtually, just so that we can set up chambers accordingly. If you are unable to attend a meeting, please let us know as soon as you're aware of that. We need to ensure that we have quorum. There are 5 members on this committee, and quorum requires the attendance of 3 members. Also, too, we can provide you with the schedule of meetings for the entire year. So if there are some meetings that you're not able to attend, we can, if we don't have quorum, and we know we don't have quorum, then we'll look at rescheduling that to a another week within that month, just so that we're able to hear the applications as they come in. If you have any questions about the application or the report or any of the conditions, we request that you direct those to staff prior to the hearings where possible. Staff will, or the applicant will address the questions at the hearing. And just as a final note, timesheets, mileage, and expenses should be submitted to the treasurer, Samantha Buchanan, monthly. We will provide you with an expense sheet for you to fill out, and you can submit that preferably after you attend the meeting, so that we keep our budget in line. We keep moving forward. And so, does anybody have any questions? Oh, Councillor Coburn, or Member Coburn, sorry.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, in doing the modules, it really does stress the importance of doing site visits for each application. So I was wondering if we have a policy to reimburse committee members on mileage for sure, and or time to do those site visits over and above the time and mileage associated with the meetings directly.
The mileage would definitely be reimbursed. I will have to follow up on the time and check with our treasurer.
Thanks, Jen. I'm just thinking it's a fairly big municipality, and if you're driving from one end to the other, it's not just a matter of mileage. It's also the time it takes to do that, and for several applications that could begin to add up. So thank you. If you could get back to us, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Nope. Okay, we'll move on. So we are now at the election of the committee chair and vice chair. And this is done in accordance with Section 8 of the Committee of Adjustment Procedure Bylaw. So the recommendation is that one committee member be appointed as chair of the Committee of Adjustment for the 2022 to 2026 term, and that one committee member be appointed as vice chair of the Committee of Adjustment for the 2022-2026 term to preside over meetings where the chair is absent, and that said appointments take immediate effect. Can I ask for a mover and a seconder? Member Coburn? And Member, is it Ladresse? Ladresse. Okay. Does any member wish to make a nomination for chair or vice chair? Member Coburn?
I would nominate Ryan Thompson. And I know he's absent, but I did seek his permission earlier, and he would be happy to do that.
Okay.
And I'd be happy to be the alternate or the vice chair, but I would just as soon give one of our community members that opportunity first, if I may.
committee like to discuss? So member Ladresse has indicated that she would also volunteer to be vice chair. Member Coburn, are you satisfied if member Ladresse becomes the vice chair?
I'm more than satisfied. I'm ecstatic. Thank you.
Yeah. Member Thompson would like to be has put his name forward as the chair. Yes. In vice chair? Okay. Okay. Is there any further discussion? Okay, so I'll read this. So that member Ryan Thompson be appointed as chair of the Committee of Adjustment for the 2022 to 2026 term, and that member Michelle Ladresse be appointed as vice chair of the Committee of Adjustment for the 2022 to 2026 term to preside over meetings where the chair is absent, and that said appointments take immediate effect. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Member Glenn and member Coburn. Is there any further discussion? And I would now call for a vote. All in favor? Carried. Okay, return to original motion, take the vote. So did I reread? Oh, okay, sorry. I will now call for a vote on the motion as amended. All in favor? Okay, that's carried. Okay. So the next item in the agenda is the appointment of the secretary treasurer. In the absence of the chair, I will read the recommendation. Or should the vice chair take over? Excuse me. Yep.
That the Committee of Adjustment appoint Jennifer Burnett as Secretary Treasurer of the committee, and that said appointment takes immediate effect. We have a mover and a seconder. Is there any discussion? Oh, sorry. I can't read. Is it Councillor Colburn? Colburn. And committee member Glenn. Oh, is there any discussion? Okay, we'll call the vote. All in favor? Fine. Okay. Date of the next regular meeting will be, the committee will meet again as regularly scheduled on January 17th, 2023 at 5 p.m. If there's no further business, I will now call for adjournment of this meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Glenn and Councillor Corbin. All in favor?